We are now going to have Dr. Yick Pang Ching from the University of Hong Kong to share with us his successful experience in GRF as well. Dr. Ching, please.
Yes, so just want to thank for the chairman's invitations, and let me to have this opportunity to share some of my past experience of writing RGC grant. So I'm Wilson from Hong Kong University, Yick Pang Ching Faculty of Medicine. I'm now working in the School of Biomedical Science, and I'm an associate professor there. So, yeah, so this topic about the experience sharing, but since I'm not a panel member, so I have little knowledge about the reviewing and decision-making process. All the information that I got is mainly from talking to people and also talking to other with the panel members. So the first thing that I know about this RGC proposal is a very competitive grant application exercise. So although I think this figure is not right, because I think just now the chairman said that the percentage should be 35%, but my feeling that it's always less than 30%. But because this figure actually shows that you have to be really an excellent proposal, otherwise you likely didn't get anything. So the 30% kind of success rate is compared to US is quite reasonable, but in Hong Kong I think unless, as the previous speaker said, you get a 5 or 4.5, otherwise you are not definite to get funded. So that's why you need to have an excellent proposal. So you never aim at 4, you need to aim at 5 to get a score of 5. So as far as I know, the results are critically depend on the reviewers' comments. So you need to, as the reviewers previous speaker said, you have to please those reviewers so that to get a good score. And so for me, I think the element that the reviewer may look for in a proposal, there's an assessment form for them to fill in. And also, I think basically I list out 5 critical elements they are looking for. So it's very similar to what the previous speaker said. So the proposal has to be like hypothesis-driven. They should contain novelty, have high impact, significance, feasibility, whether they can do it in a 3 years or 2 years time frame. So have a good track record. So if you can inject all these elements into the proposal, my feeling is that you may have a high chance to get the proposal funded. So today I'm just going to share how I prepare my proposal. There's not a definite answer, but this is just my own personal feelings. So first of all, I need to get an idea what to write for this proposal. So my first step to do is just to try to understand, is there a topic that I'm interested in, and try to write a proposal on it. So basically, I will first start reading some of the updated article, try to know what is known about and what's not known about that subject or the topic. So, and also I will try to identify the knowledge gap and think of any way that I can fill in the knowledge gap. So if the knowledge gap is too controversial, my feeling is that I will try to avoid, because sometimes it's very difficult to resolve controversy in the argument. So, but I will try to find those knowledge gap that are significant and also have high impacts. So then I will try to share my idea with others, talk to peers, and try to make them understand what I'm sort of talking about. If they can understand, that means you probably also quite clear about your ideas, so it's helpful. So to get to share with others, and of course listening to get their feedback from the peers is also important. Sometimes you can find some new idea if you can talk to the peers, and they can give you the critical comments, and you probably will also benefit from those comments. So just before writing, I will summarize what do you want to do, what do I want to do, what will be the impact, and also how feasible is it. So some work before I really start writing. I will first look at sort of pick interesting topics. So this topic need to be hypothesis driven, and also I need to hear about this hypothesis, and it has to be in the future. It has to be also clear to the readers. So this process is very critical. So for the hypothesis, I will try to work on those with high impact, of course, with significance, and also I will try to not follow other people's work. For example, if some cancer have already identified this gene, if I'm going to do it on another cancer, I think this may not be a very good hypothesis. You need to have some mechanistic insight for those, and if you can try to identify some new sort of area on that. So then I will try to focus and think about what kind of solution I can get, and what kind of approach I should do to try to address this hypothesis. In order to get this more interesting, the topic more interesting, other factors may also need to consider whether this hypothesis is like the project is whether it's disease associated. Also, is there any local reference? Is it a really mechanistic study? But sometimes you can also think whether this is translational or not translational. But this may not be a very critical factor for I think our like basic science proposals. But it's important to know whether it's doable, what control that we are required for those experiments. Is there any loophole for that? And which the proposal should try to match with your track record, so that you can impress or so that you can show that you do have this ability to carry out the proposal. Manpower and facility has to match. So sometimes you lack of a very important facility, you may not be able to complete the project. So that is important, that you make sure you have all the facilities. So deliverable, some people may think about it, or some doesn't. So like, for example, will that be able to deliver like publication or PG training? Do you need a PG to try to finish the projects? So point to consider. So hypothesis is by far still the most important. The significance, the innovation, the high impact is important for the hypothesis. And whether this project is a continuation of your previous project is also an important point, because sometimes you work on an area, you want to continue to work on it to build up your track record in the field, and also the recognition in that research field and the track records, so that in the future you can develop that in a higher or even bigger grants. So enough preliminary data is also important. So nowadays, the proposal requires a lot of preliminary data. So before I write, I will think about whether I have enough preliminary data for that project as well. For the project aim, my suggestion is more or less like 3 to 4. If you too ambitious, if you put in too many objectives, it will just make the reviewer think that you are not very focused. So you have to focus your objective just to try to fill the knowledge gaps. So time is also important because you're talking about most of the proposals are 3-year time frame. So you are talking about the project that has to compete within 3 years. So probably you cannot have too much objectives. So this is just something that I will put down for the important point that related to like proposal writing. Like for we have to write an abstract. Abstract is a very important part of the proposal because it will sort of give the reviewer. The first thing that the reviewer see is your abstract. So you have to make the abstract very simple and firm, precise, and also should understandable to the non-specialist. So this is actually quite important for the whole proposal. Just try to get the attention of the reviewers. So the other part is on the significance, key issue, and outcome. So, and this is also, most people told me that this is the most important part of the proposal because here you need to state the problem clearly and you need to work out how your research can actually help to with the solution, can help to solve the problem. And more importantly, in this part, so you can show the reviewer that why you are the right person to do it, not others. So this identify you are the right PI. So also local reference is always important. So preliminary data, if you just need adequate, but you should just put only the solid one. Don't put the data that is like in between and not very concrete and solid. So that may not be able to help your proposals. So background is also important. So you can make use this part of the proposal to provide the rationale for your study, and you need to cite the critical reference better. Also highlight some of your own published findings so that also to convince the reviewer that you are the right person to do this proposal and how this will lead to the important question to be answered. So for methodology, there's a lot to talk about because like you have to design the experiment. So you cannot do it too ambitiously. Try to not put too much sort of experimental plan because otherwise you will lose focus easily. What I do is that I will, if there technique that I have been used before, I will try to cite those reference so that the reviewer know that I have the capability to do it. And also, if I want to use some new technology, I will try to justify why I should use those new technology. But one thing is that the new technology is not the most important because it's the nature of the question that you ask is the most important. The new technology just help you, it's a mean to get you there, but not the the mean to answer the questions. So, but before you want to use new technology, you probably need to justify why you use this new piece of technology. So sometimes if you introduce a diagram or flowchart, it will help for the reviewer to understand your project. So this is also helpful. And you may want to include a schedule, how sort of the time frame for that part of the study, how much time you are expecting to put. And also always describe a contingency plan. Also, you can also put some anticipated result in the proposal so that the reviewer really know what you're doing. So also sometimes we are advised to provide some reviewer nominations, but for my feelings that this may not, it has pros and cons. And when I try to propose my reviewers, I will try to make sure this guy should know what should be in the field, in the same field that I'm working on, so that indeed he can understand my works. So other things that I think we should avoid when we write the proposal is that, of course, we should not put any unclear or unrelated objective. Sometimes people, when they write, they will try to squeeze as much as they can into the proposal. So that will actually dilute out the focus of the proposals. So if it's poorly organized, not coherent, and not focused, this will be detrimental to the proposal. Physics experiments we try to avoid, like some microarray, and if you have already done the microarray, it's fine. But if you haven't done any microarray, if you want to try to use the microarray to find some target, that you have to make a second thought about that, because sometimes it may not be a really sort of solid data that you sort of things that you want to propose to do. So you have to look at the time frame if you want to involve animal works. So make sure that, for example, if you want to generate transgenic mice or knockout mice, I would advise that you should already have the mice ready instead of proposing to do transgenic mice or knockout mice at 3-year time points. So you also probably need to revise on the English presentation. This can also be help from other technical writing editors. So other helps and resources that you can get. So you can have the chance to put some co-investigators. So you have to clearly state the role of this co-investigator. So if they can provide specific help in certain techniques, like characterizing the knockout mice, or provide some specific reagent, for example, clinical samples. So the co-investigator will help. But also, in my opinion, I would try to avoid asking my boss, because there may be sometimes a problem of independency. But I know in real life, it may not be very easy to try to ignore your boss. So, but for collaborator, you can also put in, it's usually overseas, but they are expert in the field. They can probably help for a proposal. Some core facility service. In our university, we do have some like core facility service. They can provide you a letter of collaboration so that you can show the viewer that you have certain equipment ready and also support on that equipment. So you can also send out the proposal for external or internal reviewers, and you can sort of polish your proposal after you get these comments. So lastly, I think this is the advice that I want to, so after presentation today, this is what I advise for the sort of new PIs. So if you can start as early as you can, at least a month is best. So what I do is that I would begin with checking with peers. So once you begin to sort of check with the peers, you will get your interest to write the proposal. If you didn't start to talk to people, sometimes you will put aside till almost the deadline of the proposal. You will not start anything yet. So also, we also should always focus on the novelty and hypothesis of the proposal and perform a feasible proposal and a project. So, so not too ambitious, and try to make it focus. And it will depend on your track record and also on your existing techniques. Always have a better plan on critical experiment, and also have alternative approach. If the result that you predict doesn't go to the same direction, go at a different direction, what kind of alternative approach you have. So these are all important if you can actually add those into your proposal. So write clearly, easy to follow, as the previous sort of speaker say. You need to assume that the reviewer may not be like have so many time for you, so they are very busy and they may have little time to spend on your proposal. So make it clearly and also easy to follow. So last but not the least, so if you want to continue to get the grant, so you need to always get the feedback from your peers and collaborators. So that improve your writing, your grammatianship, and because writing grant is a continuous process, learning process. Every time you may learn a bit, and that makes your writing perfect. So also try to establish yourself, make you sort of build up your track record, and build a long-term strategy, and so that it's more sustainable. So the last advice that I have 3F for the people, so need to be very focused. For the new PR particularly, should be feasible. The project should be feasible, and also free from ambiguity. So yeah, so I think this is all my presentation. Thank you very much.